Hey everybody, how's it going? Bully Scholarship. We here, also known as Great Wolf Lodge on Runescape. Today we are doing the 8th part of my Road to the Quest Cape series. Woo! We are definitely getting close to the Quest Cape. There's going to be 2 more episodes after this, so stay tuned for that. In terms of quest points, I am at 215 out of 246, so really darn close. Just doing the math in my head, we're about, let's see, that'd be like 80-some% there, upper 80%. That's pretty darn good. Actually, no, that might be closer to 90%. Whatever, I'll put the actual number up. I've completed 16 quests since the last time we were here. I was originally just going to do 10, and just do 10, 10, and 10 for, or 11, 10, and 10 for my last 3 episodes, but since Recipe for Disaster will be the big finale quest for the next part, and that's such a big quest, it's got like 9 or 10 mini quests within it, I decided that I'll add each of those as a quest, so the next part will be like 14 or 15 quests, and then the last one will be 10 technically. So that's how that's going to work out. In terms of skills, not too much has changed, mostly just stuff that has come from quests themselves. 61 strength, I got strength level, 62 defense, got a defense level, crafting, I got a level in that, 63, hit points, 64, and thieving, I got 60, which I like, because 59 is kind of an annoying number for me, since I like even numbers. I like 5s or 0s for my following, or, my, the second digit or whatever, so that's cool. Otherwise, that's about it. Total of almost to 1,400, so that's pretty cool. 13 million total experience. You'll notice my inventory's got a bunch of crap in it. After I record this episode, I'm planning on doing one small favor later today at some point. So, I got a majority of the stuff. Some of the stuff is banked there. But yeah, speaking of that, let's check out the bank. Like the last couple episodes, not much has changed here. I've probably sold off a little bit of junk down here. But really, quests have been my focus, so the bank's obviously not going to change too much with that. Got some pigeon cages. Those are for this one small favor quest. Otherwise, this tab probably hasn't changed at all, I'm guessing. This tab, I've been trying to make it look a little bit nicer. I got a spot for all the gems except for Dragonstone, but how often do you have Dragonstone? And you're not really going to need a spot for that, because you usually just sell it anyway, so I just didn't do that, but I mined a bunch of gem rocks and got those all. Otherwise, yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to put my teleports in a different tab. I might turn maybe I'll combine the quest and the clothing items into one tab, and then have one just for teleports or something, I don't know. But then again, I have all my teletabs here. I don't know. I might try to figure something out with that. Maybe I'll just remove this whole tab, and I could just have a teleport tab with just all the different ones. That might be a good idea. I might do that, so if I end up doing that, you'll see that in the next part. It sounds like a good idea. I always like rearranging the bank anyway. But yeah, besides the teleports, here's my farming tab. I've pretty much put all my equipment down here. I want to try to make it look a little bit nicer than the way I've got it, but I have kind of the stuff that I grabbed the most down here. I keep my rune axes just as a backup, because, if it's in a high-risk part of a quest or something, I don't necessarily want to bring this. Not that I'm going to lose it, but you never know. You could lag out or something. So, I've got those as backups. This I have to use. This I got from Garden of Tranquility, I believe. That turns all your stuff in your compost bin into super compost, I believe. So that's kind of nice. I think you get 15 from each, so free 60 super compost. It's pretty slick. But not much else has changed besides me moving all the equipment over here. That's just something that I wanted to do, because it was kind of annoying me, like, oh, okay, that's, yeah, pickaxe is here, and then fishing stuff is here, and then, gardening stuff is here, wait, but then my spade, so I might even try to move my fishing stuff over there too, or, yeah, I'm not sure. I'll figure it out, though, eventually. One of these days, I'll have the perfect bank set up. But yeah, that's about it. That's changed there. Food tab, nothing else. I have to have spots for all the dyes, because it always sucks having to go find dye, because it doesn't always sell on the Grand Exchange. Jewelry, probably nothing has changed besides the shortcut key, and this, I don't even remember where I got that from. It might have been from a previous quest video. Clothing, I got this tribal mask when I was doing the Top Wool 1E cleanup. One of those, like, tribal men, or, no, not tribal men, but voodoo guys, or whatever, Brudu showed up, and I killed him. I got his tribal mask, and I always like these. These are pretty cool. Quest tab, I got a bunch of burnt meat from Marm's Big Adventure and Troll Weiss. My sled from Troll Romance. Morning's End Part 1. Book of Piracy, nothing too special. Beacon Ring, this I could probably put in the jewelry tab. That's actually useful. Ooh, but that always bugs me. That always bugs me when I can't have a smooth, or like a flat thing here. Diamond ring, I can get rid of that. One of these days I'll sell that. I'll put that back over there. That's for like treasure trials anyway. So we'll do that. And that's just other stuff I have to recharge. Clothing, but yeah, that's about it. Bomber jacket, I got that from Enlightened Journey, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And yeah, that's probably all that's changed there. In this tab, probably nothing at all. I haven't touched Pyramid Plunder. Although I might go for like 70 or 75 thieving eventually, because it's really easy and it doesn't take much effort. And Pyramid Plunder's alright. I think I sold my staff, so I'd have to buy another, but still, that was a pretty chill game. Okay, so that's my bank. Let's look at some quests, shall we? Plenty of screenshots, and I think I have some video footage as well. I think I did one clue. I might have to check on that, I don't remember, but if I did, it wasn't worth anything because I just got crap. I haven't got a good clue scroll drop in a while, so... but hopefully one of these days I can get back to doing clues, because those are fun. Anyway, from the top, let's look at Olaf's quest. Olaf's quest is kind of in the Friendmic area, and I always like the Friendmic quests. But basically, you meet this guy named Olaf, and he's crashed his ship. He's like kind of stranded in that northeastern part of Relica, and he wants to find his father's like long lost treasure. And you end up helping him out, getting him some food, building a fire, and repairing his ship, and then eventually you go to this little like pirate cove where you cross this very frustrating, slippery passageway, which apparently when it first came out pissed off a lot of people because it was so darn hard, and Jagex made it a little bit easier, but I fell a couple times on it, but I did eventually complete that, so that was a good one to do. It was a fun one. I always like those snowy, Friendmic kind of themed ones. Next was Enlightened Journey, where you meet this monk on Entrana, who's tired of his peaceful, boring lifestyle, and he wants to build a hot air balloon to fly to Taverlai. So basically, you help him do that. It's a pretty quick quest. That's where I got that bomber jacket and hat from. So that was a pretty cool quest. It's really fast and not too difficult. So yep, that was Enlightened Journey. Next, we've got Shadow of the Storm, which is the sequel to the Golem quest, and basically you find out that there's a group of like occult leaders who want to resurrect that demon that you saw before. You saw like the skeleton. They want to resurrect it, and instead of trying to stop them, you just kind of sneak in with them. You meet Evil Dave, who we'll see later in Recipe for Disaster, and you join them and you resurrect the demon and kill it. Not a very tough fight. You actually use the Silver Light Sword again from the free-to-play quest Demon Slayer, and it gets the demon's blood on it, so it becomes Dark Light. I actually do have that in the bank. We'll take a quick look, and I did a little drop trick just for the heck of it, so I have Silver Light and Dark Light. Yep. I don't know. Eventually, maybe I'll get rid of this quest tab, because most of the stuff is junk. I mean, how often do I use the Wolfbane Dagger or the Blessed Axe? But for now, just for memory's sake and for videos and stuff, I'm going to keep this tab. I'm going to keep my sled. I love that. After I get the quest cape, I'm going to record myself. I'm going to go up to the mountain and do a victory slide down the mountain with my sled. And I will record that, absolutely, because I actually really like that part. I love snow. Anyone who's seen my videos or my Let's Plays knows that I love winter things and games, and RuneScape is not an exception from that. Next quest, we've got Spirits of the Elid, which is a desert quest. I like most of the desert quests. You go to the town of, let me put the name up, I forget. Unless if it's in the little description here. Narda, that's it, Narda. And you essentially talk to the mayor, and he's like, yo, our water stopped showing up, and, you know, people are kind of thirsty because we're in the desert. So you go and figure out that the town pissed off a bunch of spirits, and they threw a statue down a well, or not a well, but like a hole in the ground, a crevice. And it's a really cool quest. You meet this genie down there, and it's pretty funny. He wants the mayor's soul, so then you give him the soul of a shoe because he's a dumb genie, or he doesn't know what soul is. So the difference in the spelling. So you give him the soul of a shoe, and you get the statue back, and water is restored to the town. Everybody's all happy. Next quest, another slice of ham. The final ham quest, I guess, that we have on old school RuneScape. Obviously, there were later ones in the new game. The Chosen Commander, I think, was really the next one. But another slice of ham. Basically, the underground goblins are trying to build a railway with the dwarves so they can connect their underground cities, which is kind of cool. But it turns out that the ham members want to sabotage this. There's actually a little excavation they're doing in the tunnel because there's ancient goblin artifacts that they want to recover. But the ham people decide to try to piss off the dwarves to start a war between them, and you end up fighting them. There's this part where you go to the goblin village and you get hambushed, basically. That would be the appropriate way to put it. And you, Zonik or whatever, Zanik, the little goblin that follows you around sometimes, she gets kidnapped. You gotta rescue her, and you fight Sigmund again, and everything is happy, and the train gets built there. I don't know if you can actually take it between the two. I'm guessing you can, but it's not like I really ever go to the underground goblin city ever, so I don't know. I guess it's kind of cool, but I don't really use it that much. Next quest, Between a Rock, another dwarf quest. Basically, you meet this dude who's shooting a cannon at this wall repeatedly, and you're like, dude, what's your problem? And then he's like, yo, I want to be able to get through this wall. So essentially, you have to build this gold helmet, and he shoots you out of the cannon through the wall, and you get to this weird, creepy, kind of freaky place where this demon creature is running around, and you end up killing it, and there's a bunch of gold back there. That's the reason why the dwarf wants it, because dwarfs love gold. But you end up fighting it and stuff. The usual dwarf quest where you have to run around a bunch, and it's not absent in this quest either, so that was a good one to get over with. Mountain Daughter, another quest that I like. I really like the Friendmic quests. Probably my favorite storylines are the Friendmic. The gnomes are probably number one, with like Monkey Madness and the Grand Tree. And I like the desert, and I kind of like the Marek quest. So those are kind of my 4 favorite storylines if I were to pick 4. And some of the jungle ones are pretty cool too, like the Karamja ones. Those are probably my favorite lines. I'm not a huge fan of the Mourner ones. They're alright, but I don't know, they get kind of long. Kind of tedious. Never been a big fan of the Ogre ones, but whatever. One of these days maybe I'll like go through all the different quest lines and sort of maybe make a list of my favorites and why and stuff like that. Next quest was actually it is Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. Kind of the sequel to the Giant Dwarf. It's known as Rise of the Red Axe Part 2, if you follow the questline names. Forgettable Tale. Basically, they're trying to figure out where the Red Axe is moving their hideout, and their only source of information is this drunken dwarf. So you spend half the quest just getting him a certain beer that he wants, and you run all over the place getting seeds to grow the hops, and then you have to ferment them, and blah blah blah, and get a kebab for him, and then basically he points you towards this cave, and you find out that actually the Giant Dwarf quest was sort of a setup for you. They made the ship, or the ferry driver, crash into the statue because they have a huge plot and everything like that. So you find out that, but then you get knocked out and you kind of end up making a fool of yourself. You forget everything, so you just go to the bar and get wasted and tell stories and stuff. It's pretty funny. I think I got some screenshots of the comments that you make with the other dwarves consuming alcohol with you, so it's pretty great. I enjoyed that. Alright, next quest, In Aid of the Marek. sequel to the In Search of the Marek, sequel to Nature Spirit, sequel. I'm just kidding. So in Aid of the Marek, basically at the end of In Search of the Marek, we got attacked. Well, not we, but the Marek, the little hideout in the cave there under the bar in the Canifus. We got attacked by some vampire dude. So they're like, okay, we gotta move our hideout or whatever, because we're obviously not safe here. So essentially, you go to Berg de Rot, which is that weird town where they don't like you at first, but then you help them rebuild it. And eventually you negotiate with some people and you get a bank set up out there and get it rebuilt. And then the Marek is able to move their hideout to a basement under the bank, which is really trashed, but you know, it's a place, it's safe there. So you help them out there and move them there. And then right after that, I did sort of the final quest in the Marek series, Darkness of Hollowvale. Hollowvale. And that quest, you go to the huge freaking city on the east side of the world map. Probably the most complex, probably the biggest city, I guess, if you call it a city. It doesn't have much to it, but it's got so many freaking houses and it's a maze. That's Meyerditch or whatever. I think that's how it's pronounced. Meyerdick. Meyerditch, I don't know. So yeah, in that quest you go and kind of explore that town to try to go against the Draken family, which is like the royalty of vampires that live in this huge castle there. And you map out the city and you help out some of the Marek's people that are actually hiding out in Meyerditch. You find the secret lab, and there's actually a quest that follows it in RS3, but this is really the last one in Old School so far. I'll put the name up of the other one. I can't remember its name, but it was pretty good. That's where you actually get to go into like the vampire city and stuff. It was a cool quest. I actually like that. Most of the new ones in RS3 aren't very good, and I'm not even caught up with them right now because I don't play RS3 really anymore because it's just too different. It's changed so much, but those ones were pretty good. I like most of the Marek quests, and if I go through this again on another account, maybe for fun, maybe I'd definitely enjoy doing those quests again. Those are fun. Probably because I love doing barrows and stuff. Anyway, moving on. Morning's Ends Part 1. That was sort of the quest that was going to be my kind of finale quest for this 8th video, but I decided to change my mind and I added a few more quests on. But nonetheless, basically, you talk to Arianwin, or Arianwin, I don't know how it's pronounced, and basically you find out that the Mourners are actual elves who are part of this like death guard in the big elf city, and they want to resurrect the Dark Lord, which is like their, I don't know, a creepy evil leader or whatever. And basically you try to break in, get inside their base, which is in West Ardoin, as we know. That's kind of where like the plague and all that crap starts. And essentially you try to gain their trust so you can get information, and then the quest ends where you find out that they're trying to get slaves to dig to find the Temple of Light, which has something in it that they can use to resurrect the Dark Lord. And that's where it leads you right up to Morning's End Part 2. However, I'm saving that. That's going to be my very last quest I want to do, because that's a fun one. It's a long quest. It's probably the most challenging puzzle, but I'm excited to do it. I remember doing that one with a friend of mine, and we had a good time. It was fun. A long quest, but what the heck, it's fun. Alright, next up, Garden of Tranquility. Basically, you talk to the Queen of Varrock, and she wants you to help kind of fix up her garden. And this is probably one of the longer quests that you do in this whole game. This one takes a while because you got to grow a bunch of stuff. But if you want to do this quest in a smart way, you get multiple things growing at the same time, because there's a lot of stuff. There's like 6 or 7 different places where you have to talk to someone, grow something for them, and then they'll give you a seed, which you have to go grow for the queen. But what you do is you have to, you flip between 2 or 3 of them at the same time, water stuff, just keep teleporting between them. Having the active file is so freaking important here, unless you want to take a whole day to do this quest. So, having access to all the different farming patches is very, very useful. So, yep, you do that, and eventually you grow it, and it's pretty cool. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be once I just started doing 3 or 4 things growing at a time, and that wasn't too bad. It was pretty fun. I'm kind of weird when it comes to quests. I usually like I don't know if like the tedious ones is the right way to put it, but there's some fun ones. Even one small favor. I know it was a long quest, but I remember when I did it the first time, it was fun, so I'm looking forward to it. Next, Taibuo Wani Trio. Basically, you talk to this guy, I forget his name, it's hard to pronounce, so it's not important. Basically, his 3 sons have run away from the village, they're doing their own thing, and he wants you to convince them to come back. And that's pretty much the whole quest. This one was annoying with all the running around. I love the jungle quest because the jungle is just a cool place, but this one took a while because you had to run back and forth, and if you screw up like the food or the rum or whatever, you stick the banana in it before you slice it, it just goes downhill and you have to run back and forth a bunch. But it was a fun quest. Next up, My Arm's Big Adventure. Basically, there's a troll named My Arm. The reason why they have that name is because it's the first thing that they eat or try to eat, and they must have tried to eat someone's arm. I think he tried to eat his dad's arm or something like that. But basically, he wants to grow goatweed or gootweed, whatever, and because they find out that it's being grown again or something, apparently it went extinct or endangered, I guess would be the proper term. But you go and you have to get some gootweed, and you actually come back to Topwawani village or that area to get it. But after you do that, you have to help him get the ground nice and build a little farming patch for him. And then some birds try to attack you, and I did get some screenshots of this giant bird they had to fight, but I used magic to kill it, so I destroyed it with Ivan Blast. I got some good hits. Remember, I was hitting like 24s on it. That was really fun. But eventually, you grow gootweed for him, and you get access to a disease-free herb patch, which is very nice. So if I ever get back into farming, which I might if I want to make some more money, if I can still do snapdragons or whatever, I might go for that. That'd be fun. And it'd be nice to know that I won't have to worry about disease, or at least my herbs dying in that one patch. Because I sure like to die everywhere else. Troll Romance. Second to last quest I did. Basically, there's this like frickin' troll named Ugg, and he's into this other troll woman thing named Aga or something like that, but she's dating a troll named Erg, and stupid names. But basically you have to get this flower, which we did have it here, troll weed, so I grabbed a couple extra, I guess. And you end up building this sled, and you have to go up to the top of the mountain to get it, and it's really fun. I actually like this quest a lot, and because I get to go up into that snowy place, like where you're at in Desert Treasure, so I had a good time with that. Finally, the quest that I just did today, actually, Grim Tales. The quest full of fairy tales and weird references and things that I don't get at all. Basically, you talk to this farmer named Silas, who's like, yo, I want you to get these 2 things, I'm gonna give you a magic bean. And you're like, okay. So then you go up to talk to this griffin on White Wolf Mountain, tell it a very violent story about it killing like a gnome, and then you basically get its feather. After that, you have to get a dwarf's helmet. I don't know why he wants a griffin feather and a dwarf's helmet. I still don't really get that. But you find out that this dwarf being held captive in a tower by a princess, so it's like the opposite of what you'd expect, has this helmet that you need to get, but you have to free him before he'll give that to you. And then at one point he lets down his beard like Rapunzel, so you climb up his beard. It's kind of weird. But you do that, and then you find out that this princess is cousins with the witch Nora T. Haig. The only reason I know that is because I just did this today. Nora T. Haig, the witch from Witch's House, which is actually one of my favorite quests from back in the day. I remember just doing that. I love to just pick a quest one day in the summertime back in like 5th grade and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one. So yeah, Witch's House. But you find out she's like second cousins twice removed with her, and she has these weird experiments in the basement, and you go in there. Basically you have to steal this pendant from her basement to give to the princess, and then she'll let the dwarf out, and then you can get the dwarf's helmet. And then while you're down there, you get these roots that let you make these shrinking potions, and you end up encountering these giant rats down there, even though they're normal size, but they're giant. and you end up using that at the end to on this beanstalk that you grow. So basically, you bring the stuff back to Silas. He gives you the bean. You grow the beanstalk. You climb up it, and you fight this giant named Glod, and you just kill it because why not? And then you chop down the beanstalk, and you get this statue that Silas overall wanted. And then you get a bunch of experience. It's kind of a weird quest, and the story for it's really, really strange, but whatever, it was pretty fun. The giant was actually a pretty tough fight for me. I did have some footage of that. It was a tough fight when I tried the first time. I tried meleeing it, but then I read that melee is really hard to kill it with, so I used magic and destroyed it, because 80 magic, my friends, does good damage against it. I was just using Fire Blast, because I have my wonderful, or no, Fire Wave, because I have my wonderful Smoke Battle Staff, Unlimited Fire and Air Runes. One of the best things. One of my friends gave me that, so love that item. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I technically have 15 quests left, but really it's like 24, because one small favor, or not one small favor, because the Recipe for Disaster is technically 9 or 10 quests or whatever. But either way, 2 more videos after this one. The next small quests that I have left are Cold War, Contact, One Small Favor, Haunted Mine, and then I'll finish off with Recipe for Disaster. And then my remaining 10 quests on here I will do in the last section, and then we're basically going to have the quest cape. I'm looking forward to it, because then I can start doing mini quests as well as achievement diaries, and I can try to get the music cape. Me and my friend were just talking about that, and I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to get the music cape. It's another reason where you get to travel the whole world of RuneScape, go all over the place, and it'd be fun, I think. There aren't really that many requirements for it, so I'm guessing I'll make a video on that. I'll take some screenshots and some video, and hopefully I can get that music cape too. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got time for, and next time on Road to the Quest Cape, we'll be getting even closer. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.